These are 10 guitarists whose technical mastery easily surpassed household names like Hendrix, Clapton, and Page, yet they never achieved the same legendary status. While millions know every note of Stairway to Heaven, most have never heard the name Alan Holdsworth, despite Eddie Van Halen calling him the best in my book. The guitar world is packed with contradictions. Fame doesn't always follow talent. And sometimes the most skilled players remain hidden in plain sight. Today we're exploring 10 virtuosos whose abilities were so advanced that they left even guitar gods speechless with admiration. Let's start with Alan Holdsworth. Perhaps the most revered unknown guitarist in history. Born in 1946, Holdsworth was what musicians call the guitarist's guitarist, praised by everyone who mattered but known by almost no one else. The list of legends who worshipped him reads like a who's who of rock royalty. Frank Zappa claimed Holdsworth single-handedly reinvented the electric guitar. Carlos Santana, Joe Satriani, John McLaughlin, and George Benson all sang his praises. Most famously, Eddie Van Halen declared in 1981 that Alan Holdsworth is number one. But the most telling endorsement came from John McLaughlin, himself a fusion master, who admitted, "I'd steal everything Alan was doing, if only I could figure out what the heck it was that he was doing." This captures the essence of Holdsworth's genius. His playing was so advanced, so harmonically complex, that even world-class musicians couldn't decipher it. Holdsworth's innovations were staggering. He developed intricate chord progressions using unusual shapes based on his understanding of chord scales, creating sounds that seemed to come from another planet. His improvised solos frequently shifted across multiple tonal centers, creating a fluidity that defied conventional guitar logic. In 1983, his EP Road Games earned a Grammy nomination for Best Rock Instrumental Performance, yet mainstream success remained elusive. Holdsworth died in 2017, having spent his final years struggling financially despite his immense influence. Next, we travel to Ireland to meet Rory Gallagher, a blues rock powerhouse who influenced some of the biggest names in music. Throughout the 1970s, Gallagher consistently ranked in the top 10 guitarists worldwide in music publications. In 1972, he was voted #1 guitarist in the world by Melody Maker. Despite selling over 30 million albums and touring globally, mainstream fame somehow eluded him. The Edge of U2 called him a beautiful man and an amazing guitar player. Richie Blackmore of Deep Purple declared Gallagher the most natural guitarist I've ever seen. Most significantly, Eric Clapton told the BBC that Gallagher should be credited with getting me back into the blues. Brian May of Queen went even further, explaining how he bought the same AC30 amp and Rangemaster treble booster that Gallagher used, saying, "It gave me what I wanted, it made the guitar speak, so it was Rory that gave me my sound." There's even an urban legend that when Jimi Hendrix was asked how it felt to be the world's greatest guitarist, he replied, "Ask Rory Gallagher." While this quote's authenticity remains debated, its persistence speaks to Gallagher's reputation among musicians. He died tragically in 1995, at just 47 years old. Our third overlooked virtuoso takes us into truly terrifying territory. Shaun Lane, born in 1963, was described by Guitar World magazine as someone who few, if any, guitarists can play faster than. Paul Gilbert, himself no slouch in the speed department, called Lane the most terrifying guy of all time during a guitar clinic. Lane joined Black Oak, Arkansas at just 14 years old, already displaying superhuman abilities. In 1989, Mike Varney described him as the biggest underground cult guitar player in the world right now. But Lane wasn't just about speed. He was fundamentally a musician who happened to play guitar at impossible velocities. He was also an incredible pianist and drummer, with an endless pursuit of musical knowledge that amazed everyone around him. Jimmy Herring of Widespread Panic captured Lane's essence perfectly. Shaun's technique was incredible, but he had this remarkable soul underlying everything. If you could take all the technique away, you would still have this amazing, vulnerable person tapping into how he's feeling emotionally and expressing it through his instrument. Following his 1992 album, Powers of 10, Guitar Player magazine named him Best New Talent. while Keyboard magazine placed him second in their Best Keyboard Player category. Remarkable for a guitarist. Lane's tragic death from lung failure in 2003 at just 40 years old cemented his mythical status in the guitar community. Sometimes the most overlooked guitarist is hiding in the most obvious place. Prince, known primarily as a vocalist and songwriter, possessed guitar abilities that easily rivaled Hendrix or Santana. As a multi-instrumentalist who recorded all 27 instruments on his debut album, his guitar prowess was often overshadowed by his other talents. It wasn't until Prince's jaw-dropping performance of While My Guitar Gently Weeps at the 2004 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame ceremony that many people realized he could play lead guitar like Jimmy Page, Eddie Hazel, and Vernon Reid rolled into one. His Super Bowl 41 performance showcased abilities that had been hiding in plain sight for decades. Prince was underrated as a guitarist precisely because he was properly rated as an all-around music legend. From Australia comes Tommy Emanuel, one of only 5 guitarists ever awarded the Certified Guitar Player title by the legendary Chet Atkins. In July 1999, Atkins called Emanuel a fearless, finger-picking guitar player, placing him alongside John Knowles, Jerry Reed, and Steve Werner in this exclusive club. What makes Emanuel's achievements even more remarkable is that he never had formal music training and cannot read or transcribe music. His natural musical ability and intrinsic sense of rhythm gained him fans worldwide. Emanuel performed live at the closing ceremony of the 2000 Summer Olympics in Sydney, televised to an estimated 2.85 billion viewers. He's a 2-time recipient of the Best Guitarist Award at the Country Music Association Awards in Australia and received the Order of Australia for his contributions to music. Phil Keei represents one of music's most persistent mysteries. For decades, a legend has circulated that either Eric Clapton or Eddie Van Halen, when asked about the world's greatest guitarist, replied Phil Keei. While Keei himself dismisses this story, the myth persists because it's believable to anyone familiar with his playing. Working primarily in Christian music, Keei has released over 50 solo albums across a career spanning more than 30 years. From 1998 to 2001, he dominated the instrumental record category at the Dove Awards, winning for Invention, Acoustic Sketches, Majesty and Wonder, and Lights of Madrid for 3 consecutive years. Guitar Player magazine readers voted him one of the top fingerstyle guitarists. Making his achievements even more remarkable, Keei is missing the middle finger of his right hand due to a childhood accident at age 4. Ted Nugent once said, "I don't know what happened to that Phil Keei. He could have saved the world with his guitar." From the progressive rock world comes Robert Fripp, the only consistent member of King Crimson since its formation in 1968. Ask casual rock fans to name a King Crimson member and they'll likely say Greg Lake. But Fripp has been the creative driving force behind the band's evolution for over 5 decades. What makes Fripp's achievements extraordinary is that he was tone deaf when he first started playing. Rather than quit, he adapted by creating his own tuning system called New Standard Tuning. His unconventional approach and innovative techniques influenced countless progressive rock and experimental musicians. Eddie Hazel of Funkadelic created what many consider one of the greatest guitar solos ever recorded on Maggot Brain, while George Clinton and Bootsy Collins received most of the attention during Parliament Funkadelic's heyday. Hazel's guitar work deserves celebration far beyond the funk genre. His seemingly endless solo on Maggot Brain showcases guitar-playing greatness that rivals any rock legend. From the modern era, Guthrie Govan represents the new generation of frightening virtuosos. Possessing Holdsworth and Shaun Lane level technique, Govan combines technical brilliance with supreme musicality. His solo debut, Erotic Cakes, established him as a highly lyrical player, with compositions that seamlessly blend fusion, progressive rock, and pop sensibilities. Finally, Lindsey Buckingham of Fleetwood Mac was so integral to the band that it took 2 guitarists, Rick Vito and Billy Burnett, to replace him when he left in the late 1980s. Using a unique banjo-like fingerstyle approach instead of a traditional pick, Buckingham created some of the most memorable guitar parts in popular music, while remaining criminally underappreciated for his technical abilities. These 10 guitarists share a common thread. They possessed abilities that surpassed many household names, yet recognition that never matched their talent. Whether through genre limitations, timing, or simple bad luck, they remained in the shadows while lesser players achieved legendary status. In the guitar world, sometimes the greatest players are the ones you've never heard of, quietly influencing the legends while remaining legends themselves to those who truly understand the instrument's possibilities.